Twist, and thank God I get to do this SummerSlam Saturday review on August 1st, 2026 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And if you enjoy WWE content and WWE discussions, please subscribe to the channel because every week we do a Raw recap and review talking about WWE's biggest show. We do WWE 2K26 content on this channel as well, with the video coming out next week. Also, I do music, and I just dropped my second project with my great friend Swear God. The project's called HTSG 2, Haters Twist, Swear God. On my channel, there's a playlist for the project. Also, there should be a little thing up here for it. Also, in the description, there would be the links for streaming. So if you want to check that out, please check that out for me. But now let's get into the first match of SummerSlam Saturday. The first match of SummerSlam surprised me. I thought it would have been Brock and Oba, but it wasn't. It was the Women's World Heavyweight Championship match between the challenger, Io Sky, versus Liv Morgan, Trouble, the champion. We get into the matchup with a tie-up between them, and it gets broken down with Liv hitting her with a big kick to her stomach, and then pulling her down by her hair into a takedown, punching her back and forth, picking her up and then throwing her into the corner. But Io fights back by hitting her with her knee, and then hitting her multiple strikes back and forth, and then dropping her down into the corner, hitting her with multiple stumps into a big stand-up corner knee right into her. Then we get to the Io cartwheel segment where she does the leg strip on Liv Morgan, and then hits her with the basement drop kick, getting the people right. That leads to Liv going out to the outside of the ring, grabbing Io Sky and doing an apron pull, pulling her down, which leads to Io then hitting the elbow into her, climbing up the barricade with assistance from the fans. But as she's finna jump, Liv gets back up and pulls her down off the barricade, ends up messing up her ribs. That leads to her then picking her up and then throwing her right and back into the barricade. She's got her back in the ring now, and she's she's in the corner. She's putting her big multiple corner stumps on the Io. Then when she walks away from it, hits a big soccer kick to the ribs. Ooh, that leads to her then picking her up for the Three Amigos. The Three Amigos. Shout out Eddie Guerrero, and hitting her with an enziguri. Goes for the pin. 1, 2. Kick out from Io. That leaves Liv getting her in the corner now. She hits her with the CM Punk knee in the corner. And it looks like she's about to go for the bulldog, but Io stops her, reverses out of it, puts her to the pin combo stump, and that leads to a double down because she done used all that energy up. They get back up. Io hits her with a big shote, and then picks her up for a big flapjack slam into a big buzzsaw kick. Shout out Tajiri, and that leads to her picking up Io, picking up Liv, trying to do an Irish whip. Liv reverses the Irish whip. She goes to the corner, botches her little go through the rope move. Punches Liv Morgan, goes to the top rope, hits her with the missile drop kick right into the flip orifice, right into the double knees in the corner, the bullet train. But that leads to Liv going to the apron. She stands up from the apron. They fight up there, and Io hits her with a big sunset flip power bomb. She jumps through the rope for a big power bomb on her to the outside, and then she picks her up, gets her back into the ring, and she's about to go for the over the moonsault, her finisher. But the Judgment Day pop out. You get Roxanne jumping on the side of the ring. That leads to ref distraction. Then that leads to Big Mommy Cool, the new IC champ, Raquel Rodriguez, getting up there and then throwing Io Sky down onto the ground. Liv crawls over to get the pin. 1, 2. Kick out from Io again. That leads to them getting up. Io is now on the rope. That leads to Liv trying to go for Oblivion, but that gets reversed by Io Sky, and she ends up catching her and throwing her to the outside where the Judgment Day are. She goes to the top rope and goes for a moonsault, but Liv Morgan gets out the way back into the ring, but she does hit Roxanne and Raquel. As Io Sky is getting back into the ring, Liv Morgan grabs her with her legs and hits her, knocks her down with a head scissors, into then going to the top rope to try to do a frog splash, but Io gets up, jumps up on the top rope. They're fighting back and forth, but Io catches her, hits her with the big Spanish fly, which is basically a holding moonsault with her, slamming down. 1, 2, kick out from Liv. That leads to them both getting up tired with a boo, yeah, boo, yeah, boo, yeah. But Io Sky gets the revenge by grabbing her for a double arm underhook, butterfly slam, then doing another one, doing to a backbreaker version this time. That leads to her going to the bottom ropes, tries to go for the bullet train again, but that gets reversed from Liv. Liv gets up, tries to go for Oblivion again, but that gets reversed by Io, and she ends up grabbing her and then basically hits her with a little crossroads. Shout out Cody Rhodes, who we'll get to later in the video. And then that leaves Liv Morgan on the ropes, and she said, "My turn." Boom, Oblivion from Io Sky. That was pretty cool. 1, 2, trouble. We're kicking out of that. Liv is not losing to her own move. Not a lot of people losing their own move. So, like, that's not that crazy. At least then Io trying to go for her finish, the over the moonsault. But that gets dodged from Liv Morgan. She gets out the way, and she jumps on the middle rope and then hits the big middle rope code breaker. Awesome sell, by the way. She just pops up Io when she gets hit with it. 1, 2. Kick out from Io, though. Then at least the Liv having Io on the ropes again and try to go for the Oblivion pull down, but that gets dodged by Io. They then go find on the apron. Io grabs her, hits her with a big German on the hardest part of the ring, the apron. Then does the big bullet train to her while she's on the ring post, but that messes up the knee. That means she slower now. She's trying to go it. She get back in the ring. She goes to the top rope. Tries to go for the over the moonsault again, but Liv Morgan puts her feet up. Boom. Io Sky hits the rope. Oblivion. But when she gets hit with the Oblivion, she flips out of it. That leads to Liv then hit her with a big code breaker. She hits back the ropes again. Hit her with the Oblivion. 1, 2, 3. Trouble. That's me. Liv Morgan gets the W. She is the greatest women's champion of all. I'm not doing it. All time. Great back and forth in this match. At first, I was going to give this match a 4.5 star. I'm giving this match a 5-star match because the chemistry between these women are great. I think this match is better than the match of United Champions, but on a little bit higher basis, the chemistry between these women are great. At first, I was going to make it a 4.5 when the Judgment Day got involved, but they got involved for a little bit. It didn't really matter, and that finishing sequence was really fire. I love that. Liv Morgan has only one title defense in like 100 days. And she retained it. So I wonder what's next. Maybe Stephanie Vaquer. Maybe she'll be healed up and they can run it back again. But I love this match. Perfect way to start off SummerSlam. Then we get on to our second match of the night. It is the 3-man tag match between the Bloodline, the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, with Jacob Fatu and their Gears of War little entrance versus LA Knight. Yeah. Royce Keys and Solo Sikoa. And so the Bloodline walked out first, and then, LA Royce came out individually by himself. They said, "You ready?" Went into the ring, instant brawl back and forth between the men. Royce Keys does a big clothesline to Fatu, knock him over the ring. The Usos and Solo and LA are fighting, and then LA finds a way to do his little drop kick to the outside of Fatu in the ring. As that happens, Jimmy does his little jump over the top rope onto him and Royce Keys. And then back in the ring, we get to the 1-on-1 fight between Jay and Solo, and then Jay hits his little yeet combo and he's about to hit him, but nope, Solo reverses that and then hits his own little Solo combo. Boom, right there. They're our brothers. It makes sense. And then the funniest part of that, after he did that, he said, he ran it back and started yeeting. He started yeeting, and that was hilarious. But as that happened, Jay Uso tags in Fatu. Jacob Fatu gets in the ring, and Solo instantly hits that man with a big Samoan drop, and he up there hype. But Jacob Fatu, he no sells. He instantly gets a super kick to that man, hit that man with a pop-up Samoan, and then they start whooping on Solo for a good time. Back and forth, they have him in the corner. They are tagging in, but back and forth, hitting multiple shots on him. Also, many cheap shots that pisses off LA Knight a lot. He keeps trying to get into the ring, but the ref's like, no, you can't get in. But then Fatu ends up hitting a big hip toss on him, and that leads to a pin, but a kick out from Solo. And after that, he did a big super kick on the LA on the apron, looking dead at him in the face, which is funny. But they have a back and forth between Fatu and Solo, and it leads with them hitting a big double clothesline to each other. Gets to the double down. You know what that means. Hot tag! Royce Keys gets to the ring on fire. Big clotheslines on the Jimmy. Gets him in the corner, hits him with a big corner splash, and then hits the world's strongest slam. Shout out Mark Henry, who was there. And Jay, trying to defend his brother, gets into the ring and instantly gets hit with a big spine buster and knocked all the way down. But then Jacob Fatu leads into a distraction in the ring that leads to Jimmy taking advantage, hitting 3 big super kicks right on the Royce Keys. Crazy. And that leads to him trying to get to the top rope, but Royce Keys gets up there with him and then grabs him and it hits a top rope power slam. Nasty, by the way. That leads to a double down between the men. You know what that means. Hot tag! LA Knight gets into the ring, big clothesline, into a big scoop slam, and then he hits the big LA elbow right on the Jey Uso. And he tries to hit him with the BFT, but that gets reversed by Jey right into a big spear. 1, 2, kick out from Knight. He's not going out like that. That leads to Jey going to the top rope to do the splash, but LA say, nah. He jumps up. He does a little jump up, grabs that man right into a big superplex. But as he does the superplex, Jimmy Uso goes to the top rope. Uso splash on that man, LA, right into a big LA. Then that leads to Solo getting into the ring, grabbing Jimmy, hitting that big with a spinning Solo. Fatu gets into the ring, grabs Solo, hits him with an Impaler DDT. Looked like the execution. Shout out Edge. And then that leads to Royce Keys getting involved and then picking a big spine buster on the Jacob Fatu. They end up fighting to the outside. Fatu tries to do the barricade spot on him, but he ends up catching him and then does a power slam over the barricade. That was pretty fire. A one-on-one between Jacob and Royce would go crazy, by the way. Then we get back into the ring with the whole distractions of all the things going around the ring. LA Knight tries to do a roll-up on a Jey, but that leads to a kick-out, and then Jey instantly hits that man with a big spear. He tags in Jimmy to go for the Uso splash. 1, 2, nah. LA Knight got resiliency. He's not going. That leads to the Uso saying, you know what time it is. It's time to do the 1D. They go for the 1D, but on the apron, Solo grabs Jimmy. Samoan spike. Jey turns around and deal with that, but nah. Kick in the stomach. BFT by LA Knight. 1, 2, 3. They get the W. Great match. It got slow early part of the match, with them trying to separate Solo from his teammates, and that got a little slow overall. But after that, it picked up really well, like the beginning of the match. Great excitements, great spots, fire spots, and a winner I didn't expect. I guess with Solo Sikoa having this really good face run or how funny he is, they don't want to turn him. And I really thought he was going to lose this match and then turn to the Bloodline, but I guess not. I guess he's going to be the one outsider in it. Overall, I give this match a 4-star. The points did get hampered down because of that really, really slow moment, but I get it, It's tag team wrestling. That makes sense. But the funny part after the ring is Solo daps up Royce. He's cool with it, and then he tries to dap up LA Knight, but he not going with it. But he goes, you know what? Come here, man. Give me the hug. He's cool. So now they're all cool. He finally trusts a Samoan for once in his life. So that was cool to see. Next, we get on to a match I was really, really looking forward to. And it is Gunther versus Nick Aldis, a grudge match. They've been beefing back and forth for months because Gunther feels like he keeps getting hold for the championship. And Nick Aldis is a man at the end of the day. You can't keep putting hands on me and think I'm not going to react. He a wrestler too. He hasn't wrestled in 3 years, but he's a former TNA champion. Former tag champion. He been wrestling for years, you know what I'm saying? So he ready to get into it. And they started with a big tie between them. And instantly Gunther getting into his ring general status, grabs that man's arm, puts him to some arm manipulation, putting that man into a little headlock. That gets into an Irish whip, right into a big Gunther shoulder tackle. He has advantage early. Pick him up again for another headlock. Then he gets Irish whipped, and they run back and forth, and Gunther slides through the ring and stands on top of the table, aura farming with the people, flexing on the people. He gets back into the ring, into another tie-up, and we get a ref separation spot, and with the spot, chop to the chest by Gunther, and that turns Nick up like a switch. Instantly, he getting punches, strikes, and chops and punches right back then. And then a spot where Gunther tried to dive at him, and bro, Nick Aldis caught that man, flipped it up to the suplex position. Boom! 1, 2, kick out from Gunther, but that man's strong. I ain't know he had all that scruff on him, man. No one of them suits big as hell. And that leads to him trying to go to the middle rope. Gunther gets up, big chop, knocking that man to the outside. And that leads to him picking him up and throwing him into the ring post. And then that leads to Gunther then going to his family. And if you don't know about Nick Aldis, his wife is Mickie James, former WWE champion. I'm pretty sure she's a Hall of Famer as well. And his son, Donovan. And he's like, who is that? Who is that? He was just talking trash to Mickie James. That was pretty cool. But then we get back into the ring. Gunther hits his signature chops back and forth on that man. But Nick fights back, gets his own strikes in, but it gets stopped by Gunther hitting the big, strong Irish whip into the corner on Nick, knocking him down, picking him up again, doing another one. But then this time, Nick Aldis gets his strong Irish whip into the corner and then picks him up, hitting him with a big backbreaker. That leads to him trying to go for his finishing move, the clover leaf, but that gets pushed off by Gunther, and he puts him to the big sleeper hold. But that leads to Nick fighting, and then he grabs him and throws him to the turnbuckle in the corner, and then but Gunther's still on the head, still with steam. Big clothesline by Gunther, knocking him down. So Gunther then trying to go to the top rope, but Nick Aldis gets up, fights him on the top rope, hits that man with his classic superplex right down, and they both get up into a big strike exchange with back and forth punches, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But Nick gets the advantage by hitting a big clothesline on him. But then he gets a clothesline on him. They go into a clothesline exchange back and forth into it. But then Nick fixes it out by pecking him up and hitting him with a big signature British Bulldog power slam. Goes for the pin. 1, 2, kick out from Gunther. Gunther then tries to go for a running boot, haluva kick-esque onto Nick, but his leg is stuck on the top rope. That leads to Nick then kicking him in the leg and then picking that man up, slamming him down. And then he goes to the top rope, hits a big elbow drop, goes to the top rope again, hits a big elbow drop on that man back. And now it's time for the clover leaf. He got the clover leaf in. He wrenched on the leg. It's kind of like a sharpshooter. And but Gunther ends up getting the rope. And that leads to then Nick trying to get the power slam again on the Gunther, but he reverses that into a big sleeper hold. But Nick reverses his sleeper into his own sleeper. He got his sleeper right there, but then Gunther gets him off of him, picks him up, power bomb. 1, 2, kick out from Nick, man. He here. But Gunther instantly elbow to the neck, elbow to the neck, elbow to the neck, right into the sleeper hold. He honed on it. He honed on it. Nick got to tap out of it. Man, he got to tap out. Great match. Somebody who wrestled in 3 years, he ain't look like it, man. No ring rust. Nick look impressive. He was swole on him. He was big and brolic on him. Gunther gets the win. And it's looking like the career killer. That's just what he is, man. But great match. I give that match a 4.5 stars. That was a really good spot. They didn't mess up the spot. I thought it was a really good comeback sequences for Nick. I love that. You know, as a man, you got to get your runs. You got to get your ones in sometimes. You got to get your get back in. And he got it. And that was a good match. Also, it was a feel-good moment after the match in the middle of the ring. Mickie James and his son gets into the ring. And he gets to do the, held hand spot in the middle of the ring. That was really cool to see. Really good feel-good moment, even though they lost. Then we get to another, we have 3 people tag match, but we get the women version of it. We get the Bellas, Brie and Nikki, with Paige versus Fatal Influence, which is JC Jane and the tag team champions Laney Reed, Fallon Henley. They got beat back and forth because they took them belts from them and they cheated to get it. But now they got Nikki Bella back, so they're trying to even the score. The match starts off with Fallon Henley hitting a big punch on Brie, but Brie fights back and grabs her and hits her with a big Russian leg sweep. Then she instantly gets into the yes kicks. Boom, boom, boom. Big kick to the head. Shout out Daniel Bryan, a.k.a. Bryan Danielson. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you're an idiot. But that leads to then Fatal Influence then running into the middle of the ring. JC and Laney trying to knock down Nikki and Paige, but they drop down, grab their legs, pull them out, slam them back and forth into the stairs, and then they climb into the apron and do big dives onto them. But back into the ring, back inside the ring, we got Brie Bella trying to do a top rope move on the Fallon, but JC goes over and grabs her and pulls her down off the top rope. And that leads to Laney then putting her head on the stairs and stomping on it, which should have knocked her out in reality. And then JC Jane running over to her doing a cannonball onto her on the stairs. Nasty. That leads to then we get the same kind of sequence in the other 3 people tag match. They just get Brie in the corner, start whooping her back and forth, back and forth, back and forth into the corner. Laney over to the corner, knocking off Paige off the apron and everything like that. But Bree fights back, crawls over, hot tag. Nikki gets into the ring, big clothesline on Delaney Reed, and then hitting a big sequence with a clothesline DDT sequence dealing involved with JC and Fallon Henley was pretty cool. Then Nikki gets over to Laney, hits with a big X Factor, goes for the pin. 1, 2. Kick out from Laney though. She is hyped. She tries to walk over to Laney again, but that leads to a roll up by Laney. A kick out from Nikki right into Nikki hitting her with a big forearm, knocking her down. And then pick her up, trying to go for the rack attack. Boom, slam her down. 1, 2, but JC Jane gets into the ring, stops it. Paige tries to fight back with that, but she instantly gets hit with a super kick by JC right into Bree, hitting a big elbow into her. And then that leads to them going for a double team move, but that gets stopped, and Laney hits a big knee on the Nikki Bella. She ends up tagging in for Fallon. They get into the ring, hit a double suplex on her. They go for the pin. 1, 2, but Paige stops the pin. She not going for that. Laney instantly gets to the ring. Laney in the ring hits a big cutter on the Paige, and then Fallon Henley hits a big cutter on the Brie Bella, which is basically RKO, and she does a little Oriform. She do the little dance the Bellas used to do. I liked it. And then at least then a big double. Then they both hit a big double elbow on Nikki. They tag in JC Jane. She tries to go for her rolling encore on the Paige, who got tagged in as well, but that gets missed, and Paige ends up hitting her with a sunset pin. 1, 2, kick out from Paige, kick out from JC. They both get up, and JC instantly hits her with a rolling encore. Boom. 1, 2, 3. The fatal influence gets the W. I like the beginning of the match. It was really cool. And then they had that little slow spot. And then near the end, it just got like real shaky. Like the chemistry was kind of off. And it makes sense. You know, you got women who've been doing this a lot. And then you got like the vets who haven't been full time, trying to get their bearings right completely. But overall, I thought the match was really cool. Really good storytelling of what they're doing around. But I give the match a good 3.5 stars, maybe 3, but I'm maybe being a little bit nice, you know, it's SummerSlam. I'm feeling all right today. But overall, good dub for Fatal Influence. They needed that win to show that they can actually be something in the long run on the main roster. But then after that match, we get the Bellas giving belt to ass to Paige, because of course. And then they're walking up the stage, and it looks like Brie hurt her shoulder. She's holding her shoulder. And Nikki says to the camera, "Don't ever steal my spotlight." You let her have it. What are we talking about? But yeah, we get the Bellas back, obviously. And now, hopefully, Paige can like actually go for the main belt and not deal with this whole thing. But now we're moving on to what I thought would be the main event of the evening, but it's not. It's funny, they have a cool little character selection screen, and they picked Cody Rhodes, the challenger, versus CM Punk, the WWE champion. This is their championship match. And Cody Rhodes pops out with a Street Fighter inspired gear. He plays Guile in the new Street Fighter movie. He's got the little Guile skull head on. He comes down to the ring. CM Punk comes down to the ring with the old school Minnesota colorway of an NHL team and 20 on his back, because this is his 20th year. And this is 20th year anniversary for WWE, so that's pretty cool. But let's get into the ring for the graps. At least to a big tie-up between Cody and Punker, and they're getting back and forth into the corner. And Punk is standing with a big slap to the chest. Another, at least to them, Punk, at least to Cody saying, my turn. Big slap to your chest. I could do it too. At least to them Irish whipping them back and forth. But Punk finishes off with a big hip toss on him, and then going for a big head scissors flip move right into the beginning of the match. Pretty cool. Into arm manipulation. He grabs Cody's arm, wrenches it down, messing around, slamming on it, and that leads to Cody throughout the rest of the match having shoulder issues. His shoulder is cooked in this match. That leads to Punk trying to get the match over instantly, trying to go for GTS, but that gets reversed by Cody. He puts him to a headlock, and then he gets him into pushing it back into the corner, and they both hit each other with dual chops back and forth, which leads to then Punk grabbing his arm again, right into some more arm manipulation. But Cody uses him holding his arm and then finds a way to throw him to the outside of the ring. That leads to Cody and then going for the suicide dive, picking up Punk down and then throwing him over the barricade. But Punk climbs up the barricade, hits the big jumping clothesline onto him. Then he gets him back into the ring. He goes to the top rope and hits an axe handle onto that man's shoulder. Punk grabs his arm again, more for some arm manipulation after that. And then he grabs him and starts kicking him in the arm with it. And then he tries to go for his signature heel kick move. But as he does it, hits his leg, hurts his knee. And then after that, now Punk has a knee injury that is important throughout the match. So, Cody has the shoulder injury. Punk has the knee injury. They have that little storytelling moment. Love that. I love how they do that storytelling moment in the match. And that leads to, he's stubborn. He picked that man up, put him in the corner, hit that man with the running knee he usually does. And he tries to go for the bulldog, but Cody, he got that noggin. He picks him up, slams him right on that hurt leg, and then kicks that man's leg. And then he hits that man, picks him up, hits that man with the dragon screw. And I love that move, man. Like, I love when Stephanie Valkyrie used to put him in the corner and just wrench him in that leg. It looked nasty. It probably don't hurt, but it looked nasty. But then after that, they get into onto the apron, and he's just hitting multiple leg kicks again. And then he picks him up, hits him with another dragon screw that looked even worse than the first one. Gross. That leads to then Cody trying to go for the disaster kick, which is his jump off the rope for a turnaround kick. But Punk stops him. He intercepts him midway, tries to go for a drop kick, but his leg hurts, so he's going to get one kick in. And then he ends up hitting the knee in the corner, grabbing him, hitting for a big bulldog again. Then he goes to the top rope, hits the signature Macho Man elbow, drop right down on him, goes for the pin. 1, 2, kick out from Cody. That leads to Punk then trying to go for the GTS, but that gets reversed by Cody. He gets him off of him and hits that man with a big Cody cutter. 1, 2, kick out from Punk. Cody said, okay, I'm good. Go for that disaster kick again this time. 1, 2, kick out from Punk. He said, okay. Super Cody cutter off the top rope. 1, 2, kick out again from Punk. He's the champ for a reason. At least then picking up Punk, trying to go for the crossroads, but that does into the Sami Zayn spot where he drops down. He leads him pulling over into a roll up by Punk. That gets a kick out. But then he tries to go for the GTS again, but that gets dropped down and put into. He ends up grabbing his leg, and Cody pulls him down and then hits him with the bigger 4-leg lock, and they have a good sequence of that. It's a Punk in pain, screaming in pain, but they find a way to flip it over. Punk flips it over. Now he's getting all the pain right there, but Punk finds a way to get the rope. But Punk instantly, when they're down there, gets inside that man, grabs for the Anaconda Vice. But Cody ends up getting the rope again. That leads to Punk again trying to go for the GTS, but that gets stopped by Cody. He picks him up, tries to go for the Alabama Slam, but he spins with it for some reason. But that is dropped down right into a big Anaconda Vice by Punk. But that leads to a roll-up out of it, and then right into a big crossroads, slamming him down. 1, 2, kick out from Punk. And that man, Cody, like, I don't know what to do. That leads to then Cody going to the top rope. But Punk ends up knocking him down off the top rope. And as he's in that position, he goes, you know what? I can do a moonsault. Fuck it. He goes to the moonsault, misses it. Completely misses it. They don't call him crooked moonsault for a reason. He doesn't hit him. Goes for the pin. Kick out from Cody, though. But then Punk grabs that man's arm, hit him with a big clothesline, knocks him down, goes for another pin, but another kick out from Cody. And they say, you know what? It's time, bro. Go to sleep, man. Pick him up. GTS, but he uses the knee that he hurts. So he's slow to go for the pin. 1, 2, kick out from Cody. At least them going to the outside of the ring. Punk wants to mess with the announce tables, messing around some furniture. But as this happens, he gets on top of it. Cody grabs his leg, pulls that man down into it. And then he ends up throwing Punk into the steel stairs. And then puts him back into the ring. But unexpectedly, Punk, burst of energy, picks him up. GTS. Goes for the pin. 1, 2. Let me get the rope. Cody gets the rope to stop the pin. And that leads to him going, you know what? Let's have some fun. He gets Cody, puts him on the announce table, goes to the top rope. He says, you know what? Elbow drop! And he misses because Cody instantly gets out the way. That man, Punk, hits the table leg first, by the way. Nasty bump, by the way. It was really cool to see. He gets into the ring, though, Cody, and then Cody tries to go for the super Cody cutter, but Punk pulls the ref out in his way so he doesn't get hit with it. Leads to a ref bump. Leads to them both being down. And then that leads to Punk taking advantage, picking up Cody. GTS! And he drops down to his knees, which leads to the spot of Cody hitting the rope, falling right back down into his arms. Goes for it again, but that gets stopped by Cody, and he hits him with a big crossroads. But as he hits him with the crossroads, CM Punk rolls outside the ring. That leads to Cody being hurt. He stands up, and somebody runs down into the ring. A man that hears voices in his head. Randy Orton pops up. RKO out of nowhere. And he dips. Good to see Randy back. That leads to Punk. He didn't see it. He didn't know what happened. He gets back into the ring. GTS goes for the pin, and it's the slowest pin ever because that man, the ref, is hurt. 1, 2. Good W for the best in the world, CM Punk. This match was amazing. I think this might be the best match in the card. It's a good like way of this. Like I like the comparisons of like this and the match with Io and Liv. Like those are really good matches, but they're done completely different. This match is based on storytelling and trying to be super realistic and trying to work on selling and all that. And then like the first match is just like lots of fun, a lot of cool moves, like a good back and forth drama. You know what I'm saying? I really like both matches. I think this might be my best one. I give this match 5 stars. Even though they have the little Randy distraction, I still really like the 5-star match. Good to see Cody Punk, but they just can't have Cody lose clean. They just can't have Cody lose clean. I get it. He's the golden boy, like Sami Zayn said. But I love this match. They're probably gonna run it back after this because Randy got involved. But this is not the main event because the main event is going to be Hell in a Cell with Oba Femi versus the hometown kid Brock Lesnar with his boy Paul Heyman. And this is a Hell in a Cell match. The match Brock ain't never lost in. He done beat Undertaker twice in. So this is a big challenge for Oba Femi. But you saw what he did at WrestleMania. So he can do it. But we get into the match. And Oba instantly on fire. Hit that man with an uppercut. Get that man into the corner. Hit some big punches back and forth. Then he Irish whips him over there right for a big uppercut. And then goes for another Irish whip. Goes for another uppercut. But that gets missed by Brock. What that means? Suplex City, bitch. German. German. Third German. But he no-sells it. Oba Femi no-sells it and instantly clotheslines that man to the outside of the ring. This is insane. Oba on the outside of the ring. Grab that man Brock. Throw that man into the cage. He get a table up. He set up the table and he go throw that man into the table. He also threw that man into the stairs. Like he was just throwing that man everywhere. Then he gets a whole bunch of chairs and steel steps and throws him to the ring. He also throws Brock into the ring. And as he gets into the ring, Brock is up. And he picks up the steel steps and whopped that man over 3 times. And I was like, he got a blade after that because he was just really throwing them things right into his face. But he didn't bleed, sadly. There was no blood in this match, I would say. That made me sad. I thought there'd be some blood in the match. But then that leads to Brock trying to get into his domination. Goes for 2 Germans. Whop. Grab a steel shit. Hit that man in the back twice right there. Then he pick him up for a couple vertical suplexes. Hit about 2 of those. But on the second one, he actually did it onto a pack of steel chairs. Really painful. And then he picks him up and goes for the F5. But that gets reversed by Oba. He just says, yeah, I took all that pain, but I'm fine. Grabs him. Choke slam. Big double down. They tied. They didn't beat up. They got welts on their back and everything. But they get back up. Oba hits uppercuts back and forth on the Brock. But Brock says, I don't care about that. Goes for the F5. But that gets reversed again by Oba right into a big choke slam, and then he does the reverse throw suplex onto that man right into the big fall from Grace. That gotta be game 1, 2. Kick out from Brock. He home. Can't lose like that. That leads to then Brock just going beast mode. He says F5, F5, F5. That's the third one. Goes to the pin. 1, 2. Kick out from like. That pissed Brock off completely. He grabbed a chair, whop, 4 chair shots to the back. And he said, you know what? I'm getting mad. He said, you know what? Let me rip the ring canvas off, take the pad off, and show the wood. If you don't know, wrestling rings have like the canvas and it's a little piece of foam to disperse it, but it's really a basis of wood. It's a wooden ring, which is crazy. You really think about it. They take slams onto pieces of wood for years and years and years. Insane. But he exposes the wood and he picks them up for a F5, right? But he flips them over to a tombstone pile driver onto the exposed wood on Oba Femi's head. 1, 2, kick out. Oba Femi kicked out. And he's fired up when he kicks out. He's insane. He's insane. Brock scrambling, pick up a chair, try to go for Oba, punches the chair. He said, "Come here, fall from grace. 1, 2, 3. Oba, Oba Femi might be the biggest person in wrestling ever, because I don't know how you book him losing if something like this with one of the biggest beasts in wrestling gets whooped like this. He gets beat like this. I don't know how you book that. And this might be Brock's last match. I don't know for sure, but he gave a hell of one. And also after the match, you know, Oba was lit and Brock went back into the ring. And Brock walked up and gave him a hug. He shaked his hand. He grabbed the mic. He said, "Hey, man, this man right here is the future of WWE." He said, "I'm the past. He the future." And like, he even take the ring to like basket. He said, "No, you got it. You go get lit in the ring." So Oba get lit in the ring. Like, and that's how we end SummerSlam Saturday. I don't know how you can beat this man. Like, if I'm Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, I'm scared. Brock was giving y'all belt to ass for years, and Oba doing it like it's easy. So it's a good booking problem, but it's a crazy booking problem. Like, it's really insane. Like, he's really like invincible when it comes to this. It's insane. But I enjoyed this show. Really all good matches, nothing too completely bad. I feel like, you know, the weakest link was the women's tag match, but it was okay. It wasn't like oh my gosh, what am I watching? Let me turn it off. Like, it wasn't that bad. It was just an okay match. But a lot of the matches delivered. I love that. Cody, classic. Nick, showing y'all he can still do it. Oba killing Brock, crazy. EO, Liv, masterpiece. This was a great show. You know, Bloodline, LA, Royce, Solo, Beef, great PLE, and it's just night one. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. You know, every week get the Raw recap and review, and we get the PLEs like this. So you're gonna have this come out, and then you're gonna have the night 2 come out, and then you're gonna have Monday after that. Like, I'm going to work. But yeah, so you can check that content out if you subscribe to the channel. Also, if you see, also I do music. Just drop my links in the description for streaming, and the playlist for the music on YouTube will be on my channel as well, so you can check that out. All right, y'all. I'm Twist. Remember, y'all, Jesus loves you, and so always keep God first. I'm out.